Joining us right now is Dhar Mann. He's the founder of Dhar Mann Studios. He was named #2 on Forbes' top creators list for 2025. He makes short, dramatic videos on YouTube that teach life lessons, often ending with a positive or emotional twist. We're also joined by Sean Atkins. He's the CEO of Dhar Mann Studios and the former president of MTV. And gentlemen, welcome to both of you. It's great to see you. Dhar, I want to just talk about what you've built, because it's pretty phenomenal, coming from 2018, doing these scripted videos that you were doing, I think, in your apartment, using your apartment as the soundstage and setup for all of these things, to now having this giant studio that takes up a huge amount of space and knocking out videos that I think are bringing in something like 10 billion plus views a year across all these platforms. How did you do that?
It all started with the simple mission of just helping people that are going through a hard time. I'm somebody who has just gone through different types of hard times in my life, and I wanted to create content that inspires the world, that you can turn your life around and you can accomplish all your dreams, regardless if you've been through different setbacks. So it's been amazing, the community we've built of over 125 million followers. Clearly, positivity is winning on the internet for once, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I've watched many of the videos. They're almost like Aesop's fables. They're scripted, and like good wins out in the end. One of them was the gold digger who dumps her boyfriend. She doesn't have patience for him while he's building this brand. She feels bad about it 5 years later when she's kind of down on her luck and realizes that he's moved on. I mean, there's no subtlety to these things. People really do want that feel-good message, I guess. And where are they most popular?
They're actually most popular within the U.S. And a lot of these stories are originally inspired by my own real-life experience.
Who dumped you?
What'd you say?
Who dumped you? Was that what inspired?
Somebody heard me, and I started a whole movement around it. But yeah, I mean, even though we have about a 55% primarily English-speaking audience, you can imagine with 10 billion annual views, we have a pretty global viewership as well.
That one, the gold digger video that I mentioned, that was self-inspired?
That was self-inspired. I got to make sure my wife is not listening right now, but
yeah, I know that. I mean, no, that was great. You talked about how, I mean, if it was really followed the story in it, the guy gets the really nice good girl in the end, and I guess that's what happened there. I mean, that is something. I didn't realize that was inspired by real life. Sean, why don't you talk about where the studio started, where you think it's headed at this point, because you're brought in to bridge that gap between what's happening in digital and traditional media.
Yeah, the exciting thing is that this actually reminds me in my own career of how the reality business and the cable business both exploded from the traditional businesses. And so you have these entrepreneurs such as Dhar, who've built these incredible businesses direct to their audiences. And so they've gone from building it in their homes, in their apartments, to all of a sudden what we have today is we have a 100,000 square foot facility with about 200 employees. We cast about 1,500 actors on an annual basis. And we get about, as you sort of said, 1 billion views per month and have over 145 million followers across platforms. And the exciting thing that's different for these creators versus the traditional system is that the creators here can come up with an idea in a matter of days, greenlight it, produce it, and get it in front of their audience. And it's just something that just doesn't happen in the traditional ecosystem.
So, Sean, what does that mean for Hollywood and broadcast television? What's the threat that it poses, I guess?
I'm always an optimist, or I wouldn't be in the industry that I've been for this long. Is like everything ultimately is additive, right? Like TV didn't get rid of film, cable didn't get rid of broadcast. The creator industry is not going to get rid of traditional media as we know it. What it is it's additive to the system. And so this is a part of the system that allows entrepreneurs at very low economic point, as long as they want to take a multi-year risk, such as Dhar and Laura did in founding a company, to build content that they own the intellectual property of. And then they are the distribution, the intellectual and the monetization of it. And that's the difference between the traditional gatekeeper model, where you have to go through somebody, spend several years hoping that they make your content, and then ultimately that gatekeeper owns your IP.
Hey, Dhar, I have to admit, the videos are entertaining. I think most of them are below 10 minutes. Am I right on that?
They're actually TV-length episodes, so everything is 22 minutes to 25, yeah. And we've even put out feature films before.
So do you think that this is something that translates beyond YouTube? Could you get some of those stories picked up in other areas? Because the production's getting better with it, but there is, where's your next target? You do YouTube, you conquer YouTube, and now what?
A lot of people think that there needs to be a next step. Sean, in one of our very first hands-on, said, I'm going to be honest, we're going to spend 0% of time thinking beyond YouTube, just in the sense that there is so much opportunity within these platforms themselves that continue to grow. We can launch into new genres. We can go into episodic content. We can go into feature films. But that being said, there's definitely a lot of interest from other platforms. We actually just signed our first deal with Samsung not too long ago. One of the biggest streaming platforms out there is coming to our studio next week to talk about us creating original content for them. So I think the transition from Hollywood-driven content to creators creating content for these platforms is happening right now.